Hello and welcome to the land of tranquil literacy. With Jody and Darren.
And you spell your name in an unusual way, Darren,
That's
with
true.
an I.
We'll talk about that later.
So,
the I and the spelling and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're okay.
We didn't really actually. We were gonna do a theme song. My baby did some opening music. Yeah. Okay.
Do you want to do more to it?
Maybe we'll do. Maybe this will be like a musical review sort of show, as well as spelling and grammar show. So, which means we'll have probably maybe like spelling or grammar or reading and writing.
Yeah, we do have a grammar show, but this is going to be a
intermission
little more
where we can all loosen up and jam out
regular
a little
breaks,
bit and,
so that
do songs about reading
and writing.
Yeah.
I came up with this idea for this literacy show because I sent an email to the literacy volunteers of Santa Fe. By the way, we're out here outside of the Lafarge Branch Library, one of our favorite library branches.
That's appropriate, right?
Yeah.
So you go in there's going to be posters all over the place that say read. Reading is great.
And books all over the place for you too. Reading magazines for free and magazines to check out or something, I guess. But just lots of stuff to read. And I sent a little email to the literacy volunteers of Santa Fe, and they really need and want literacy volunteers. Well, first of all, let's define literacy.
Okay.
Well, I have an easy definition, but I want to hear yours first.
Okay.
Dave.
Well, my simple definition would be literacy is the ability to read and write.
Perfect. That's what I would have said. Well, that's why I said that was perfect. But you could have said something like, literacy is the ability to go out and have a conversation with a wide range of people of different backgrounds and educations and cultural experiences. In other words, to be culturally literate, you might want to go every once in a while to an opera or a restaurant or a play or a high art film or whatever. There's different forms of literacy, but basically what we're dealing with here is a very basic sense of literacy, and that is learning to read and write. These
are skills that, a lot of people take them for granted, but to go without them, it seems to me that it's the difference between having a lot of doors closed you in life, or a lot of doors just flung wide open. Yeah.
And it may not even be politically correct to compare it to like blindness, but it's like if you can't read, like everything around me has words on it. The Flower of Chinese Buddhism, Farragosi Farms, Canon, Charles Mingus.
I think this could be useful when it comes to like learning to read and beginning to realize how easy it really is like it's on stop signs, for example.
Right, it's everywhere.
And it's like that helps to reveal that, oh, wait a minute, I can read. I see a stop sign. I know what it means. It means what it says. What you're looking at is
it as a word or
stop.
as a symbol. But words are symbols.
That's it. You're looking at it. It means stop. That's also what it says when you look at those letters on it.
Yeah.
Stop.
I like it, babe. S-T-O-P.
So that gives you, an idea what the word stop looks like, and you see it all the time. It's on stop signs everywhere.
Yeah. Because the way you say the letter, each letter in the word creates the word. In other words, an S is called an S, so it sounds like S. It's not called
sound.
Different name with a different sound. Like an F is called an F because it has a sound in it.
Yeah.
There's not a letter out there that doesn't sound like its sound. It sounds like it itself.
W is a little tricky.
W. Oh, yeah, but it's in there. W. That's a real weird one. You're right. But Z.
W is kind of a weird letter anyway. But
W is a cool letter, but Z.
Like zoo.
And B is B.
Yeah, we'll show you all these letters later too.
Yeah.
And you'll recognize most of them because you've seen them everywhere because they're all over the damn place. You can't miss them.
Yeah, and you use them all the time whenever you talk, even if you're talking in a different language, most likely. Now, if you're talking, but like phonetically, I think all languages have a phonetic kind of alphabet to go with their other. Well, we don't need to go there. But basically, all of you use these sounds all the time.
Oh, hey, check this out. You know how we were talking about stop?
Yeah.
Stop, like it says on a stop sign, is spelled S-T-O-P.
Yeah.
You hear, and basically what you hear
write
is...
that down.
Okay, let's
on the editing, but that's going to take a lot of work.
Sound that out for a second. Stop, S-T-O-P, S-T.
For T.
Oh,
is O, even though that could be A sound too. But.
And P, S-T-O-P, stop. Put them all together. Whereas there's a word that rhymes with stop.
And it's actually found inside of stop.
Top.
Top.
Top rhymes with stop.
And it's actually part of stop.
Here's just a great example of how simple it is. And you'll find these same three letters in the stop sign. It's just that there would be an S in front of them. S, stop, stop. Or you get rid of the S and you're left with the T, O, P, like there are on a stop sign, and that is how you spell top. And there's a top.
And now I'd like to introduce. Wow, I love the way you taught that with a cigarette package. But that's awesome. Yeah. But well, I would like to explain to you all why I am interested in doing the Land of Tranquil literacy program. I want to teach literacy to adults primarily. And I did teach literacy to adults. I've taught ESL at the college level, various courses of ESL. English as a second language is what it stands for. And it could be like their fifth language or whatever. It's not their original language, in other words. Like they grew up in, say, Chile, and they never learned English, or they did, but it wasn't their native language. And so they came over to the United States and they studied ESL with me instead of a regular English class for native speakers. And I am also a teacher of other English courses, creative writing, English composition 1 and 2, and I've also won a teaching award. And in part, one of the reasons I want to do this damn frickin' literacy thing is because I want to be a teacher.
Well,
I am a teacher,
My baby's a
and I'm
great
going to
teacher.
prove that I'm a freaking awesome teacher and why everybody in the world would want me to work for them. And I'm going to do it by teaching literacy, because literacy is something that everybody needs, you guys. It's like, you can go without math. I'm living proof of not knowing how to do math and still kind of surviving, right?
Yeah.
You cannot go through the modern world, life in the modern world, without being able to read and write. You're depriving yourself of so much. Okay, and here's the story that inspires me and inspires you to know I'm a great teacher. When I was a little kid, I had a little sister, and I still do have a little sister, thank goodness. But she was getting ready to go into kindergarten, and I've told you this story before, babe. And I was like, I do not want my little sister Kimberly now Miller, to go into kindergarten handicapped and not be able to write. I was a couple years older than her. So
Good
I was
looking
like
out,
7.
baby. Good looking out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can teach her to read. But I'm an impatient type, so happened to be at the house, just the 2 of us at the time, and I told my sister, here, get up. I put the high chair in the middle of the room where she couldn't reach anything at all. I said, hop up, get up in the high chair, and so she did, of course, and I buckled her in and trapped her in there, and I said, now I'll let you out after you learn to read. And it's amazing trapping someone into a high chair like that, how fast they can learn to read. Because after a couple hours with the Charlie Brown dictionary, I was able to release her from that little
she was already
contraption.
She was already going, oh, okay.
She was getting it. She knew how to read 2 hours later.
There you go. Wow.
And this is my response to one of the people, one of my fellow teachers, who said once, and probably a lot of them have said this, you can't teach somebody to read and write, or to write, in a semester. Well, you can certainly teach them to read in 2 hours.
Right.
All you have to do is trap them in a contraption for a couple hours, take that Charlie Brown dictionary and stick it in front of their face and say, well, you gotta learn to read or you're not getting out.
Of course, this is not going to be like the Clockwork Orange of literacy shows, or my baby's going to bring, gentler techniques.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to,
but
help people.
I know
out,
she's told you that just to demonstrate, wait a minute, for all the people that say,
I can't do this.
No, all it takes for, a child is just to say, you can do it. All you have to do is just expend a little energy.
Put a little effort
and
in.
all you have to do to get a child to do that is maybe just get him to sit still for a minute, which is what my baby did. Basically, all she said is, if you just sit still for a couple hours and pay attention, you can learn to read.
Right, and you will be very, very happy. And she knew how to read in kindergarten when she started, babe.
Right.
And then I want to know. So, what I would like to say to that person who actually said that you can't teach somebody to write in a semester, you learn to write in less than a fucking semester. You learn to write in like 1 moment. It was 1 moment that you learned to write. And you did it when you were 5, so certainly you can teach an adult who has myriad experiences and talents and skills that they bring to the act of reading and writing, acts of reading and writing, or to do the same. What kind of teacher doesn't believe in their own fucking students? I believed in my little sister. I still do, but I did, and that's why she learned to read in 2 hours.
And I think, maybe people feel like if they've gone through life and gotten as far as they've gotten and they don't know how to read or write, that it must be because it's like a really daunting thing to do. And I think the advantage that the little kids have when they learn to read at a young age is they don't go into it thinking this is going to be a daunting thing. They just think, oh, okay, this is being presented to me, and they kind of just do it a little more naturally. Do it naturally.
I think that they think it's fun. I think that they think it's an adventure.
And that it's neat. It's neat.
And it's neat. Now,
that's what the word cat looks
that into
like.
ugly stuff, that teacher should be taken out back and whipped.
Yeah.
In the back of the schoolyard, whipping them. They need to whip them. Whip them good, because they're not teaching the love of learning to their students. And I had lots of math teachers that should have been whipped like that. Well, I gotta, what? Luna, I don't want to do this. This is embarrassing, Mama. Come on, Luna. No, I'm mad. Why? Because Papa's been spending more time away from us. And I'm mad about it. I don't want to teach people to read and write. Why?
Because then they'll leave us.
Well, okay, that brings up a really, 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 really important issue here. Do you agree?
Well, sure.
Well, it's talking about that people are freeing themselves when they learn to read and write. They are learning to free themselves.
It's true.
And then what happens when they free themselves?
Well, what does happen remains to be seen. What could happen?
Well, what could happen is they could leave.
Well, they could leave even without learning to read and write.
Well, I know, but they're more empowered to leave then.
Well, it's true. That's one of the reasons the true story, folks. The church didn't want the people, the masses, to know how to read, because they were afraid if they can read, they won't have to rely on us to tell them the truth. They can read the book themselves, and
Well, see what I mean? They free themselves from these people in power.
Yeah,
let them do that
It's
then.
a real phenomenon.
Yeah, but then that way their wife thinks, oh my goodness, he's gonna go out and get a job and leave me behind.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I guess I'd have to say that's possible. But everybody needs to fucking learn and read and write anyway, Luna.
Okay, well, let me read out of this book, Lands of Pleasure. It sounds like my kind of book.
Lands of Pleasure. Can you look at this real quick and then I'll turn it around?
I got it.
Are we gonna read the title?
She's gonna read, well, I'm sorry, that, but she can't see it.
Okay, that's broad.
I can't see it.
Let's see. How about I bring the camera over here?
Okay, yeah, nice.
Much better. I tried to memorize it, but I couldn't. Besides, this is a book about reading, and I gotta read it.
I gotta find this page.
Can I read half of it? Yeah. We'll read up to the second semicolon, then you can have it, Luna. I mean, Dobby.
I want people to be able
I just called my own sister my name.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, show them the title.
Okay, here's the author or the title?
Both.
Okay, here's the title.
Lands of Pleasure.
That's it.
Wow, I like that title, Gwama.
Lands of Pleasure.
Lands of Pleasure by May Knight Clark. We're going to talk about the silent K in the future. Just leave it for now.
Okay, so shall we begin?
Books are keys to wisdom's treasure. Books are gates to lands of pleasure. Books are paths that upward lead. Oops. Books are paths that upward lead. Books are friends. Come, let us read. Books are keys by Emily Polson.
That was very nice, girls.
Very nice.
Thank you. I enjoyed that. That was really nice.
Oh, do you have any Sprite or tea on?
We got...
Here, there's a cup.
We got Sprite and tea. We don't have ice, but...
I don't need any. I'll take a little tea. I thought we'd start with this children's book that is actually intended to teach children to read. There's nothing wrong with children's books, right, babe?
Children's books are cool.
Anybody thinks there's something wrong with children's books have lost their child within and they need to go find it.
Yeah, and they could start by looking in some children's books. Yeah.
Where's the place to find something to read, babe? Where are places to find something to read?
Okay, well, the library is always a good place.
The library. And it's also a place where you could probably connect to find somebody to help you learn to read and write.
Right.
Or even develop the skills you already have, even conversational skills, which is something this literacy program teaches. The problem is, I told them straight up, you're probably not going to hire me, even though I'm the best qualified teacher, because of all this crazy shit that I've done out at the college and raised hell. And they haven't responded back. And I included a clip from our web series, The Land of Tranquil.
Well, I hope it's not true, y'all. I hope it's not true that you're closed-minded and willing to shoot yourself in the foot, because that's silly. But
there are a lot of low-thinking people in here. In this town.
And we're saying...
And we're going to raise
we're appealing to whoever's watching this, because we're kind of like saying, but you're not that, right?
No, they're not, because they're watching our show trying to learn to read and write. Or, if they already know how to read and write, maybe they're developing some of that, or just watching us for the damn entertainment.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it'd be kind of funny if, you know, we do a poll later and we find out that 70% of our wide audience of viewers that tunes into Literacy with Jody and Darren are completely literate. And they just watch it because it's good,
Fun,
big-hearted, healthy fun.
Heartwarming. Well, it's kind of like this.
Can I throw a grape into your mouth?
Yeah. Man, that was
so
good.
Close. Let me try again. Okay. One more try. Lift open your mouth a little wider. There we go.
So we're starting out with children's books. Then we're going to move to a young adult reader. We got all of these books for free here at the library. They've got a whole bunch of them that they're giving away out in front of the library, and we just go every day that we come here and pick out a bunch of books that we want.
Yeah.
And so one of them was this children's reader. It says the Macmillan Reading Program on the back.
Yeah.
And then this is a young adult book, A Day No Pigs Would Die by Robert Newton Peck. We're breaking every fucking copyright law out there, but we don't care.
By the way,
these guys want their books to be read.
Does that dude look familiar to anybody? He looks familiar to us, but we can't quite place him.
What dude?
I don't know. The older dude.
Oh, he's on both sides.
We think maybe he's a famous actor.
He could be.
Either that or he's actually just an illustration, and I can't tell which for sure. But,
and this is the book coming up. In other words, we're kind of giving you what we are going to look at later, but for now we're going to start with Lands of Pleasure.
Lands of Pleasure.
But then we're eventually going to read A Day No Pigs Would Die by Robert Newton Peck, which we've never read. I've never even heard of it before I found it. But it looks wonderful. Let me read you something that somebody wrote about it on the back. A lovely book, honest, moving, homely in the warm and simple sense of the word. It isn't trying to move mountains, and it has no quarrel with life. It is perfect. It is perfect?
Wow.
The Boston Globe.
Wow.
And you know what? We're honest, moving, homely, warm, and simple, but we're also trying to move mountains, and we have a major quarrel with life. And we are perfect.
Yeah.
So, let me see if I can read.